A powerful winter storm is poised to deliver up to a foot of snow across parts of the northeast United States tomorrow, creating treacherous travel conditions and potentially breaking snowfall records. In today's forecast, we'll break down the imminent snowstorm expected to impact the northeast, bringing significant snowfall and hazardous conditions. Good morning, everyone. I'm Will, and welcome to your daily weather update. Today, we have a significant weather event unfolding that demands our attention. As we look at the national weather map, a potent storm system is making its way from the Midwest into the Northeast. This system has been gathering strength over the past 24 hours, drawing in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and cold air from Canada. Currently, the storm is centered over the Ohio Valley, bringing moderate snowfall to cities like Columbus and Cleveland. As it moves eastward, it's expected to intensify, leading to heavier snowfall rates and more widespread impacts. The primary concern is for areas in upstate New York and New England. Forecast models indicate that these regions could see snowfall accumulations reaching up to a foot by tomorrow evening. Cities such as Albany, Syracuse, and Burlington are in the direct path of this storm and should prepare for significant snowfall. In addition to the heavy snow, we're also monitoring the potential for strong winds, especially along coastal areas. These winds could lead to blowing and drifting snow, further reducing visibility and making travel even more hazardous. It's also worth noting that this storm is moving relatively quickly. While this means that the duration of heavy snowfall will be shorter, it also means that conditions can deteriorate rapidly. Residents are urged to stay updated with the latest forecasts and be prepared for sudden changes in weather conditions. As always, our team will continue to monitor this developing situation and provide updates as new information becomes available. Stay tuned for more detailed regional forecasts and timing of the storm's impacts in the upcoming segments. Now that we've covered the overall progression of the storm, let's delve into the specific hazards expected today, including anticipated snowfall rates, temperature drops, and wind conditions. All right, let's break down exactly what kind of hazards this storm is bringing as it moves into the Northeast. This isn't just another snowstorm, it's one that will create major disruptions for millions of people across multiple states, and it's already showing signs of intensifying as it tracks eastward. First, let's talk about snowfall totals. Right now, the heaviest band of snow is expected to set up across parts of upstate New York, northern Pennsylvania, and much of New England. We're looking at widespread accumulations of 8 to 12 inches, with isolated areas possibly exceeding a foot in the higher elevations of Vermont and New Hampshire. Some parts of interior Massachusetts could also see up to 10 inches before this system exits the region. The storm is going to ramp up quickly as it pulls in additional moisture from the Atlantic, meaning snowfall rates could exceed 1 to 2 inches per hour at times. When you get those kinds of snowfall rates, visibility drops dramatically, and road conditions become extremely dangerous in a matter of minutes. This means travel is going to be nearly impossible in some areas by mid-morning. The timing of this storm couldn't be worse, with heavy snow expected right as many people head out for their weekend plans. If you're thinking of driving anywhere in the Northeast tomorrow, you may want to seriously reconsider. Conditions will deteriorate fast. Now, let's talk about the temperatures. Right behind this storm, we've got a deep pocket of Arctic air plunging southward, which is going to send temperatures plummeting across the region. Cities like Boston and New York will start the morning in the upper 20s to low 30s, but by tomorrow night, we're looking at single-digit wind chills across parts of the Northeast. That's because strong northwesterly winds will be following this system, making it feel even colder than the actual air temperature. Speaking of wind, this storm isn't just bringing snow, it's packing some serious gusts, especially along coastal areas. Winds will pick up as the system strengthens offshore, and we could see gusts reaching 40 to 50 miles per hour along the coast of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and even down into Long Island. For inland areas, expect wind gusts of 25 to 35 miles per hour, which will create issues with blowing and drifting snow, further reducing visibility. So to sum it up, we've got heavy snow, dangerously cold temperatures, and strong winds all coming together over the next 24 hours. This is a fast-moving but high-impact storm, and it's going to make travel incredibly difficult across much of the Northeast. Now that we've covered the hazards, let's take a closer look at how this storm will impact specific regions, including how much snow your city will see and when the worst of the conditions will hit. Stay with us. Let's break things down region by region so you can see exactly what to expect in your area. This storm is going to hit some places much harder than others, so timing and snowfall totals will vary depending on where you are. Let's start with New York City and the surrounding areas, including parts of New Jersey and Connecticut. If you're in Manhattan, Brooklyn, or northern New Jersey, expect 3 to 6 inches of snow beginning late tonight and continuing into tomorrow morning. The heaviest snow is expected between 4 a.m. and 10 a.m., so if you have early morning travel plans, you'll want to rethink them. Now, if you're further north, places like Westchester County and the lower Hudson Valley could see closer to 6 to 8 inches, with slightly higher amounts the further inland you go. Coastal areas of Long Island will see lower totals, around 2 to 4 inches, because of a mix of snow and sleet keeping totals down. Boston, you're right in the bullseye of this storm. The latest models suggest 8 to 12 inches of snow, with localized areas getting even more if heavier bands set up in just the right spots. Snow will begin late this evening and continue through most of the day tomorrow. The strongest winds will also be in this region, with gusts up to 45 miles per hour, making for blizzard-like conditions at times. Further west into Worcester and Hartford, Connecticut, totals will be in the 6 to 10-inch range. Expect heavy snow overnight with deteriorating road conditions by sunrise. This is where we could see some of the highest snow totals. Cities like Albany, Syracuse, and into the Green and White Mountains of Vermont and New Hampshire are expecting anywhere from 10 to 15 inches, with locally higher amounts in the mountains. If you're in these areas, travel could be nearly impossible by early tomorrow morning, and roads may remain snow-covered well into Sunday. So here's the bottom line. If you're in New York City, expect moderate snow, but nothing historic. Boston is looking at a major snow event, while areas further north could see huge accumulations in the mountains. And this storm isn't just about snow. We've also got ice and wind causing problems, especially in coastal areas. Now the big question, how long will this storm last, and when will conditions finally improve? We'll break down the timeline for the next 48 hours in the next section, so stay with us. Now that we've broken down snowfall totals by region, let's talk about when this storm is going to hit the hardest, and more importantly, when it's finally going to move out. While this is a fast-moving system, it's going to pack a serious punch while it's here. Let's go hour by hour and break down the timing so you can plan ahead. The first snowflakes will begin falling across the Midwest and the interior Northeast later this evening. Cities like Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Buffalo will see the initial wave of light to moderate snow between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m., gradually intensifying overnight. By midnight, snow will begin creeping into Pennsylvania, New York, and southern New England, setting the stage for what's coming next. Between 2 a.m. and 10 a.m., this storm will be at its strongest. Heavy snow will be falling across New York City, Boston, and much of New England, with snowfall rates reaching 1 to 2 inches per hour in the hardest hit areas. This is when travel conditions will be at their worst. Near zero visibility, strong winds, and rapidly accumulating snow will make roads incredibly dangerous. If you absolutely have to be out, expect major slowdowns, road closures, and possibly flight cancellations. Meanwhile, coastal areas will be dealing with an additional issue, freezing rain and sleet. Long Island, southern Connecticut, and parts of Rhode Island will see periods of mixed precipitation, which will cut down snow totals, but create dangerous ice buildup. As we move into Sunday afternoon, the system will start to lose strength. By 2 p.m., snowfall will begin tapering off across New York City and Philadelphia, but Boston and much of New England will still be seeing moderate to heavy snow. Further north, areas like Maine and the White Mountains will continue getting dumped on through the afternoon, with some snow showers lingering into the evening. By 7 p.m. Sunday, the storm will have moved out of most major cities, with just some lingering snow showers and gusty winds left behind. The last pockets of heavy snow will be pushing into Canada by late evening, leaving behind a cold but quieter start to the new week. But just because the snow is over doesn't mean the impacts are. Bitter cold air will settle in behind this system, leading to dangerous wind chills and refreezing on the roads overnight. So here's your storm timeline in a nutshell. Snow starts this evening, intensifies overnight, peaks in the early morning hours, and gradually winds down through the afternoon on Sunday. By late Sunday night, we'll finally be in the clear, but the cold temperatures will stick around for a while. Now that we know when the storm is moving out, let's take a look at what comes next. Could we be looking at another major system right behind this one? Stick around, we'll break down the extended forecast next. All right, we've talked about what's happening now, but what about after this storm clears out? Will we get a break, or is another system already lining up? Well, based on the latest long-range models, we might not be done with winter weather just yet. After the storm exits Sunday night, we'll get a brief break from active weather to start the week. Monday and Tuesday look mostly dry across the Northeast, but don't get too comfortable. Temperatures will be bitterly cold. With Arctic air settling in, we could see morning lows in the teens and single digits for many areas, with wind chills making it feel even colder. In places like Boston and New York, highs may struggle to get above freezing on Monday, which means any snow that melted during the day will quickly refreeze at night, leading to icy conditions on untreated roads and sidewalks. By Wednesday, we're watching a developing system in the southern plains. Some models suggest that this could track toward the east coast by Thursday or Friday, bringing the potential for another round of wintry weather. Right now, it's too early to say exactly where this next storm will go, but if it moves up the coast, we could be looking at another snow event for the Northeast by the end of the week. On the other hand, if it stays further south, areas like the Carolinas and Mid-Atlantic could be the primary targets instead. This is definitely something we'll be watching closely over the next few days. The storm track will be key. A slight shift north or south could mean the difference between another major snowstorm or just a cold rain event for many areas. So while we do get a brief break after this weekend storm, winter isn't done with us yet. There's still the possibility of more snow later in the week, and temperatures will remain well below normal for this time of year. We'll continue tracking these developments, so if you want to stay ahead of the next big storm, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next forecast.